Thank you for joining the live on what is now 2 weeks since Nicola's disappearance. My name is Susan and I am a reporter at Lancs Live, and I am joined here by fellow reporter Chloe Phillips. Nicola was last seen on Friday, January the 27th at about 9:20 a.m. on the upper field by the river off Garstang Road, where she was taking her spaniel, Willow, for a walk after dropping her kids off at a school in the village. We're on the main road here at St Michael's on Wyre, and we are going to do the same walk Nicola would have taken on January the 27th along the River Wyre, the walk Nicola took most days with her dog Willow. Lancashire Police have used specialist search teams, sonar, police dogs, drones and helicopters, all to look for the 45-year-old that went missing. They have also gone house to house and looked through footage and CCTV. They've also issued a dispersal for the area, which has granted Lancashire Police so that people, members of the public that we're going to discuss now, have to leave the area. We're actually joined here by a guy who has a security team in the area who is working alongside the police in order to sort of get rid of those members of the public that shouldn't really be doing what they're doing. I'm sure many people have seen the TikTok videos and those that are searching on social media. Hi, nice to meet you. Hi, yeah, nice to meet you. I was just wondering if you could just sort of introduce yourself and explain what.
Yes, my name is Sutcliffe from Sutcliffe Security and Training. This is one of my employees, Phil. We're basically being asked by some of the residents of St Michael's to come down and give a bit of reassurance to the community, because the amount of TikTokers and YouTubers that have come down causing antisocial behaviour. They've been trespassing on private property. They've been going up to the old house, which is just round the corner. We went there last night with the dog unit, and the owner's actually camping in his car to stop people coming on. I mean, people shouldn't have to be living like this. The village is under enough stress as it is with the situation with poor Nicola, what's happened to her, or whatever's happened to her. Everyone's in limbo about that. Plus, they've got the added hassle of all these people coming to the area. It's quite an older generation living in St Michael, so a lot of people are not on social media. So they're wondering who these people are, what they're doing, walking around with the phones, filming the properties, going through the gardens. So it's causing a lot of stress and alarm for the residents. So we were reached out to by the local community to come and assist them. We're doing it free of charge because we live locally. We're happy to put something back into the community. And the staff are also coming along with us, which has been great. So we're basically patrolling the area, advising people of what to do and what not to do. As you said before, there's dispersal order in the area, which runs far and wide. It goes right down towards Brock, down the bottom end. So if there's any antisocial behaviour in that area whatsoever, the police will remove them. We've also been just advising members of the public. I mean, last night there were people that come down from Kilmarnock in Scotland just to have a look round and take videos. We saw some young kids down on the river last night, about 10:30. It's pitch black. It's really dangerous, very, very slippery underfoot. So we basically advise them. There's not much we can do when they're on public land, but we can just offer some friendly advice, tell them other dangers that they're facing, and hopefully they'll listen. We've set up a TikTok account, which is Sutcliffe Security, basically to speak to the TikTok community, because that's the only way we can get through to them. We've asked them not to come to the local area, let the people live in peace, let the family do what they need to do, let the police do their job, and let's all just try and help the community as a one, really.
Can I just ask, why do you think people are taking it upon themselves to?
I think that a lot of it is because the police are going in one direction about it. Then you've got all these amateur investigators on TikTok that are wanting TikTok views. They're coming out with these wild conspiracy theories, and then people are taking them as fact. So I think people are showing an interest like that to get TikTok views, want to be on YouTube. And it's causing more of a hindrance than helping. I don't know if a lot of them think they're genuinely helping people, but they're not. It's causing aggravation for the police, aggravation for us, and aggravation for the local community.
Yeah, have you got a really feel for what the local community are feeling at this time?
They're totally distressed. Obviously, what's gone on is bad enough, which is terrible. But obviously, you've got all these outsiders coming to the village and just causing no end of trouble. You antisocial behaviour, noise at night, breaches of the peace, trespass. So they've not only got the hassle of what's gone on, they've got these extra hassle of people that are coming. And like I said, we've got an older community living in St Michael's, so a lot of them are not on social media, so they just don't know what the hell's going on. So we're here just to reassure people. We'll tell people why these people are here, but we're also going to try and discourage them from coming to the area, and that's why we set up a TikTok account, basically trying to reach out to people, say, listen, just let the family be at peace, let the residents live a peaceful day-to-day life, and let the police do the job.
Thank you so much. That was really helpful. Thank you very much. Thank you. So we're just outside St Michael's Church now, and we're just going to take you on the route that Nicola did on that day, Friday, January the 27th. So if you just follow me, we're just going to walk through the Shard Bridge, which is in the direction of the River Wyre. Just for anyone that would want to know, apologies for the noise, anyone that is sort of wondering where we are in direction to the River Wyre, we've got the school behind us and the bridge in front of us. So as we walk down here, we are just going to talk you through the timeline of that day. So at 8:26 a.m, Nicola left her home with her two tucked into her trousers under ankle-length green Wellington boots. So that's the timeline of events that happened on that day. As I've just told you there, we're just walking along the footpath along the River Wyre, as she did on Friday, January the 27th, just after dropping her kids off at school. As you can see, it's a very quiet place. I actually spoke to a member of the public just about an hour ago who told me that she moved to the area for a bit of peace and quiet. It's a lovely place, a sleepy village, and it's the last thing you sort of would expect from a town or a village like this. So the police presence is quite heavy in the village. Obviously residents and people getting to and from work are still going through the village, so the traffic is quite heavy too. Dog walkers can be seen walking alongside the river as they would have done every other day. There's police patrolling the area just as they would, just to check on the antisocial behaviour, like we mentioned with Spencer and his security team regarding the dispersal order that's in place from the police. So we're just walking alongside the path. I'm with my fellow reporter, Chloe Phillips, and we're just going to talk to you a little bit about what has happened.
Hello, so we know that the police have been searching for the last 2 weeks. They've used helicopters, drone and search teams on the ground covering the area. There's also been a private investigation using sonar in the river, which concluded they found nothing. So Susan, can you tell us a bit more about where the police investigation is up to now? Where are the police searching?
Yes, absolutely. So it seems that one of the latest leads in the case is that they are trying to trace a tatty red van which was seen parked close to where Nicola disappeared 2 weeks ago. It has emerged that a concerned resident spotted a suspicious-looking vehicle, believed to be a Renault, outside a barn in St Michael's. And the resident, obviously concerned about the case, was contacted the police to see what was going on. Obviously, that's one of the leads. There's many leads, over 500 lines of inquiry that the police are following. And also, quite notably, the search has moved a little bit away from the River Wyre where we are today and where Nicola originally went missing. Obviously, we had an expert in sonar equipment having a look in the riverbed who has sort of confirmed that any sighting he would have found aren't there and no evidence at this point. A dinghy with 2 officers on board could be seen along the river, and hopefully there are search teams today that we can catch on camera. But the searches seem to have gone on to Morecambe Bay, where the river stretches out to the sea. An orange rescue boat was spotted appearing to do sweeps off the river, off Knot End on Sea, and at the mouth of the bay, around 10 miles downstream from where she vanished. So police search and rescue teams have dispersed a little bit away from the River Wyre now and are looking further afield. That seems to be the latest from what we have. Obviously, the police will be searching through more lines of inquiry, but at this point, that's what seems to be going on.
So a lot of speculation surrounding the case is the 10-minute window that police can't account for, with no witnesses, with one CCTV that would have seen everything was actually broken during that 10-minute window. People also want to know about the dog Willow. It was found dry. Now, if she'd have gone into the river, then surely it would have been wet.
Absolutely. And just for anyone that has just joined our live, we're just going to recap Nicola's movements on that day, which was Friday, January the 27th, when she was last seen at around, or when she left the school, at around 9:20 a.m. So just to recap, at 8:26 a.m, Nicola left her home with her 2 daughters, aged 6 and 9, dropping them off at school. She walked along Blackpool Lane with her dog, named Willow. This is a busy road, and as she walked along here, she would have passed the parish church, St Michael's, which we have done on our walk. She will then walked over the footbridge, which leads to the river over the River Wyre. And at around 8:43 a.m, Nicola began walking east along the path by the River Wyre, heading towards a gate and a bench in the lower field. Lancashire police say that she was last seen by a dog walker who knew her at around 8:47 a.m, and their pets interacted briefly. After this first witness saw Nicola, she then walked back along the river path and was then spotted later on the CCTV after their interaction. 6 minutes later, at 8:53 a.m, Miss Bulley sent an email to her boss, followed by a message to her friends 6 minutes later, before logging onto a Microsoft Teams call at 9:01 a.m. She was seen by a second witness at 9:10 a.m, and at this point she was still with her dog Willow and was seen off the lead. This was the last known sighting of the 45-year-old. Police say they are particularly interested in what happened between then and 9 because they believe her phone was on the bench between 9:20 and 9:30 a.m. We're actually just right in front of that bench. Here, this was the last sighting of her and where her phone had been found by some of the witnesses and her dog, Willow, of course. So we've reached the bench where Nicola's phone and the dog, Willow, had been found shortly after the last sighting of her. The phone was still logged on into a conference call. Police have issued a dispersal order for the village where Nicola Bulley disappeared to stop people travelling to the area. Officers at Lancashire Police warned of potential arrests after members of the public travelled to the area to reportedly search for an abandoned house. It comes amid reports of members of the public taking matters into their own hands in the search for Mrs. Bulley, 44, spurred on by theories shared on social media. Apologies, I think she was a 45-year-old. In a statement, the force said the order was issued after reports of individuals from outside the area of St. Michael's filming on social media close to the properties. As you can see, there is a property opposite the River Wyre, just as where we are, and opposite the bench, the crucial bench in this investigation. And the dispersal order has been issued for people that have come here to this area, which is covered in posters, and it's obviously a very notable area and one that is the focus of this investigation. But members of the public have come here to sort of take matters into their own hands, and rather than work alongside the police, sort of trying to do their job for them. And as we spoke to Spencer and his team earlier, other members of the public are trying to sort of prevent that and reassure people that do actually live in this village, because there are quite a few homes. As we have been walking through the village today, we can see that it's still very much day-to-day life sort of carries on as normal, with the overhanging sort of idea that there's this massive story and you know, the public want to know where Nicola has gone, and what has happened to her. Obviously a lot of concern too. So yeah, we sort of just covered the main points here. I can go through it again, so basically Nicola was last seen dropping her kids off at St. Michael's School. We've walked along to past the church that she would have done as well, and along the footpath down the River Wyre to the bench where her phone had been still logged on, and her phone was found on this bench logged on to a Microsoft Teams call at work. I think we're going to walk down past the path again. Hopefully there are some search teams near the bridge, and we're going to film them hopefully for you so that you can see exactly the work that Lancashire Police are conducting. Obviously a bit of the latest as well is that the investigation is moving more towards Morecambe Bay, which is where this river flows to, and out into the sea. Some dinghies and specialist officers have been spotted there, and obviously I'm sure everyone's been keeping on top of the news in the last 2 weeks, and that's sort of where the investigation is going, as a lot of manpower and a lot of people are still obviously very much searching for the missing 45-year-old. I think Chloe's going to just give you a little bit of a recap again, just to go through the order of events, and then I'll talk you through it too.
Yeah, so Nicola was last spotted around 9:15 a.m. 2 weeks ago, Friday the 27th of January, and police inquiries have been ongoing. Police are now looking for anyone who's in the area, dash cam footage, any possible clue that could lead them to seeing what has happened in this tragic case. We know that police confirmed this morning that investigators are currently by the Lancashire coast, looking for clues, looking for Nicola.
Absolutely. And just for anyone that's just joining the live now for us, we're here in St. Michael's, showing exactly the trail and the little village St Michael's on Wyre in Lancashire, where 45-year-old Nicola Bulley was last seen, despite huge efforts from the police, family, friends, and the community. Police are no further into finding exactly what has happened. Even just walking through the village earlier today, members of the community are really eager to get as much information as they can. Anyone driving or walking through the village can see plenty of people with placards, missing posters. They're sort of showing them in the direction of any drivers that are passing through the village. And it's sort of just to get the word out, really. Obviously, a lot of people, maybe of the older generation, don't have social media, that live in St Michael's. And it's just about getting the word out of exactly what to do when you've got information. Call 999 if there's an immediate sighting, or 101 if you've got any information that might lead to somewhere in the investigation. No piece of information is too small for this. Like we said earlier, a concerned resident did see a tatty-looking red van and informed the police of that, which is one of their lines of inquiry at the moment. Other than that, it seems that the police are searching Morecambe Bay as well.
And just to reiterate what Nicola was wearing at the time of disappearance, she was wearing a long coat, dark trousers, long green socks with ankle-length green Wellington boots.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure we've all seen the photo of Nicola too, and her dog Willow. And absolutely any information will be absolutely vital for the police. And again, any immediate sightings, people are encouraged to call 999, or any information, call 101. And yeah, just again to reiterate, we are walking along the footpath that Nicola would have walked on the day that she disappeared. We're actually taking the opposite route now, so we're walking towards the main road, towards St Michael's Church, towards the primary school and the bridge as well. We're hoping that some search teams are going to be in this area now so that we can film them. We have been informed that they should be near the bridge now. If not, then obviously we'll just show you the footpath instead. But this is the River Wyre, very, very close to where Nicola was last seen. Obviously, we have just been to the bench, which is very, very vital to this investigation. But for any members of the public that are looking to do this walk, there has been a dispersal order issued by Lancashire Police for any antisocial behaviour that is occurring. So that's people breaking into people's gardens, private property, homes, anything like that will not be tolerated, obviously, with the investigation being hot on everyone's lips. And the police presence is obviously very, very high at the moment. You can't go too far in St Michael's without seeing a patrol officer on foot. We're actually just walking past some now who are obviously patrolling the area, ensuring that nothing suspicious is going on, but also keeping on top of that antisocial behaviour, which is so prevalent right now on social media. And as we spoke to Spencer from the security company earlier, there are things that are being done to sort of help that and to help the local community, because again, there are concerned people that still live in the area that want to see Nicola and want to find out what exactly happened to her. And again, people on social media have taken it upon themselves to take matters into their own hands, but that dispersal order, again, just to reiterate, has been put into place. And for anyone that's missed it, we would like to just say that according to police, she was wearing a black Engelbert Strauss coat, black jeans, and had long green walking socks tucked into her trousers under ankle-length green Wellington boots. That's what she was wearing when she was last seen 2 weeks ago now. 2 weeks ago today, when she was last seen walking along this very path that we're walking along. As you can see, police presence is high in the area. And again, that dispersal order is in place for members of the public who are causing any antisocial behaviour in the area. It's a very, very small village. As you can see, it's very peaceful as well. Aside from the strong presence that are obviously here to gain any information on her disappearance and her whereabouts, other than that, it's a very, very sleepy village. And the community has been shocked, upset about what has gone on. I spoke to someone earlier who moved here 3 years ago for a quieter life. And that's what it's usually like here. It's usually a very quiet place. And all attention has now been put onto St Michael's on Wyre through Nicola's disappearance. But hopefully we'll get answers soon. Police have got some inquiries that they're following. Again, like we said, the red tatty van and going out onto Morecambe Bay. As you can see, this is the River Wyre. The bridge is just behind me there, and St Michael's Church, just so that you get a feel exactly how close we actually are and how far Nicola walked on that day, because it's really not far at all. If you can just see the church just beyond me here, the school's actually only just behind that, just further down the road. It's every point is sort of visible. So she really didn't have to walk that far at all before she disappeared. Again, we've got the school where she dropped off her 2 children that morning. She then walked past this church that's just right in front of me here, along the bridge, down the footpath that we just walked down and have walked back up again to the bench where she logged onto a work Teams call, which she then stayed dialed into before leaving her phone on the bench. And whatever happened after that is obviously down to police inquiries, but her phone was found on the bench and her dog Willow was also found there after by another dog walker, and there's that crucial 10-minute gap where police want to find out what happened, because that 10-minute gap will have all the answers to Nicola's disappearance. We're just walking towards the bridge now. We were hoping to see some squad teams from the police in the search for Nicola, but I don't think that they are here right now, which is absolutely fine because we're just showing you exactly the path that Nicola took anyway, just so that you can get a feel for the short walk that she took. It really wasn't that far at all. And just to see exactly where she went on that day.